You will enjoy life more if you do. You will enjoy everything more if you do. Let go of the things that are not you. Let go of the things you don't know and don't need to know right now. For you will know them when you do need to know them. As the energy on your planet accelerates, as you allow yourself more and more glimpses, more and more experiences, more and more opportunities to experience the knowing state, which is, as we pointed out, as simple as easy as saying, I am. The more you allow that knowing state to permeate all of your life, every situation, every circumstance, no matter how seemingly mundane, no matter how seemingly small, doesn't matter. The more you do that, I guarantee you, the more you will suffer when you don't do that. Now, if that isn't some incentive, I don't know what is. I do not do it to scare you. I do not say it to make you afraid. We say it to let you know you are truly free to live in that knowing state and to live in it freely enough to know that you don't need to know everything all at once. Just what you need at that moment. We do not wish you to suffer. You do not wish you to suffer unless you do. But it's your choice. You don't have to believe us. You don't need to believe us. But you need to decide for yourselves what state you prefer. And you need to decide for yourself that it's easy to create that state. I am. The dots on the paper. The higher airplane. That's where you live. That's where you live. In that mansion, that gorgeous, beautiful, creative, shining, sparkling mansion. You do not need to live in the squalor of beliefs that do not serve you. If you choose to do so, understand that you're choosing to do so. There are no exceptions. But you don't need to do so. You can be in knowing. You can. Because I have just shown you. It's as easy as I am. As soon as you say that, as soon as you remember that, you are in a knowing state. There is no reason and no excuse that says, I can't create the knowing state. Because it is too simple to do. So if you say, I can't get to the knowing state, I guarantee you this, from this point forward, we won't believe you. Say it out loud. I am.
I am.
It is an absolute fact. You didn't have to repeat that. But thank you for doing so. Shows you are in the moment. Because it's true. It is an absolute fact. If you want to say it out loud, by all means. It's an absolute fact. That I am. There is absolutely nothing that can contradict this. Nothing exists that can contradict this. If you are, then you are. That's it. Isness is your only quality. It can become nothing else. Isness, the quality itself, can become nothing else. Yes, within creation, you can experience becoming many things, but all of them still exhibit isness. They all still exist. You still exist. No matter what you become, you still exist. Existence is your basic quality. That can't change. It is the first law. It doesn't change. It is. It is. It is. It is. It is. You are. You are. You are. You are. I am. I am. I am. I am. I am. Even if it were possible for you to suddenly not exist at all, you'd never know it, so why bother caring? Why spend time worrying about it? You would never know it had happened. But if you do exist, I guarantee, because all that is guarantees by its very nature, if you exist, there is only now, so you must always exist, because there is only now. There's only now in which to exist. And if you exist in the only now there is, you always will, because there's only one now. That's it. So here you are. You're part of the club. Lifetime, 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 lifetime to infinity membership. Free of charge. Forever. Start taking advantage of membership privileges. It's up to you. Stay in your knowingness. It's up to you. But now you know it is simplicity itself to be in that state. There is no rationale whatsoever that will make sense anymore that says that state cannot be achieved, because it is the actual easiest state to achieve, because it's the most basic state to achieve. So start from there, let it be obvious, and let the obviousness filter into every aspect of your life, and let it be all right to not know what you don't know. That's all it takes. That's all it takes to have absolute serenity in your life. On every level, for everything. Be in the now. Be in the knowing. Do you think it's an accident that in your language the words now and know are so close in structure? Be in the now and you will know. Be in knowing and you will always be in the now. Always. It's that simple. What is your time frame? We know you enjoy conferring about time. We will give you an opportunity to do so. You mean before the break? Did that make you feel good? Have you come to a consensus now about the difference between time and timing?
I was referring to the entire session, but I didn't realize we were having another break, so we're in agreement.
I see. So the same event produced two different perceptions. Thank you for being an illustration of our first demonstration. Let us take 3 more questions.
Bashar, this is a question from a News for the Soul listener.
Oh, all right.
And it's a compound question.
A compound question.
Yeah, I'm going to put these together.
Yes.
It says, okay, I can talk the talk, but why is it so hard to walk the walk concerning faith when the chips are down and things aren't going my way? Am I just deluding myself? And please explain where the line is, the limits of what is actually possible through the power of faith or knowing for real in this dimension of reality.
To some degree, this question has already been answered. The idea simply is that any delusion that exists is the delusion that the negative belief systems hold sway over the positive ones. So when you say the chips are down, turn them up, because you have the ability to do so. It's not deluding yourself to turn them up, but the irony is you don't think you're deluding yourself when you turn them down. The idea is, as we have recently discussed also, yes, of course, you live in what might be described as a relatively limited reality, and of course, certain things will not be apropos to manifest in your reality. It doesn't mean that there really are limits per se, but there certainly are agreed upon parameters that will make sense according to your local reality. So you will usually abide by them. But with parameters, you have free rein to go far and wide in choosing anything that represents your creativity and joy. To put it simply, if there is really something you're passionate about in your reality, it really truly represents your true passion in that reality, it would make no sense for you to not be capable of manifesting it in your reality. Therefore, anything you're truly passionate about, you probably wouldn't be passionate about if it were not possible to manifest in your reality.
That sounds wonderful.
We think so. Oh, what? We know so.
Oh, that's great. Well, thanks very much, Bashar.
You are welcome. Any other questions?
Good afternoon, Bashar.
And are you good day?
When we speak of the common time-space continuum, when
Yes.
you do,
Yes.
you speak of it as a three-dimensional continuum of space and time, time not being treated as a fourth dimension.
Well, we're just using your colloquial vernacular. We understand that from your scientist's point of view, there are three dimensions of space and one of time, making you, in a sense, a fourth dimensional reality.
Oh.
But we also understand there are many different kinds of terminologies that exist in your reality about dimension and density, and it can, to some degree, be somewhat confusing.
Understood. Einstein does refer to the fourth dimension as an imaginary dimension of space.
Yes.
Now, understanding, as I thought I had, that time and space are inseparable in my experience,
Yes.
I come across what they call M theory,
Yes.
which arrives, short version, at an 11th dimensional model
Yes.
in which they have 10-dimensional universes
Yes.
floating in an ocean
Yes.
of an 11th dimension of time.
Yes.
And that sounds to me like we have now made a new kind of time, which is absolute, linear, and just like the kind of notion of time that was pre-Einsteinian. And I'm having some desire to put these notions of time together or relate them.
I see. What your scientists are actually discovering is that there are levels to the concept. We sort of discussed this before when we said that anything outside the one does create some sense of, quote-unquote, space-time referential positioning. But there are varying degrees of this. There are certain levels of this. And what they have simply come across is they have reached an understanding that there is another level above physical reality where that kind of so-called barrier, that arbitrary barrier, also exists. I'll put it another way. We have often said, and this again may seem like an arbitrary representation, but you will understand the analogy, we believe, that above a certain frequency level, what you call the speed of light, that defines the border, so to speak, of your physical space-time reality. But there are things that exist at higher frequencies than that are not part of your dimensional experience. But even that domain has its own upper limit beyond which you then recognize you've shifted to yet again another domain, and another domain, and another domain, and another domain. So the theory that your scientists are working with now is simply a mathematical representation of a higher domain's upper limit, where it would once again seem to be the kind of impositional structure that is similar to the kind of impositional structure you experience in your typical third-dimensional space-time reality. Is this making any sense?
Oh, yes.
All right.
So it's not so much that I need to take the physical picture as to understand that this is an expression of a mathematical reaching.
Yes.
Now, I have, and I'm going to ask you to critique or whatever this notion. It is my understanding that in a continuum of any number of dimensions, it takes one more to know it.
Yes.
So that,
as your Einstein said, you cannot solve a problem from within the state of mind that the problem was created. You cannot see the forest for the trees. You have to be beyond the forest to see the forest.
So that if it takes 10 dimensions, for example, for all there is.
Yeah, knowing that that's just an analogy.
Yes.
All right.
Then I would be the 11th dimension contemplating it objectively.
Yes.
And that is not essentially a sound way to hold the idea.
Yes. It is one way to begin to work with those concepts, by always understanding that in order to perceive a concept in its entirety, you actually, so to speak, have to be beyond it, which automatically implies a bigger reality.
Are you suggesting that the assignment of a finite number of dimensions to all that is inappropriate?
It is not that it's inappropriate. It is appropriate for how you may want to work with certain concepts. But it will never be an accurate representation because infinity will always trump the finite.
Mm-hmm. So whatever I make of that notion is a limitation.
Yes, but it may be a very plausible or workable one for what you may need to apply it to.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I know that I have chosen to suffer this weekend.
Oh, all right. And why did you choose that?
I have been experiencing a challenge to my faith.
Yes.
And this weekend has brought me from despair and anger to hope.
All right.
And I was listening to what you've been saying, and I'm getting closer back to faith. But I was
Are you going beyond faith to knowing as well?
No. And I was wondering if there was anything more that you would like to tell me to bring me to a stronger faith and towards
I am not
knowing.
attempting to bring you to a stronger faith. I'm attempting to bring you beyond faith to knowing. Did you do the I am exercise?
I did.
Do you understand that when you say I am, that that's an absolute fact?
I do.
Then you know. It's that simple. Did you not believe us when we said it was that simple? Is that part of the challenge?
The challenge for me is when you say circumstances don't matter.
Yes. Do you
That's
want me
my
to
challenge.
explain that?
I want to know how I can believe that and demonstrate it.
Oh, thank you. We often have said, though we understand how this first sounds in your language, we don't mean it negatively, that the greatest gift creation has given is that life is meaningless. There is no built-in meaning to situations or circumstances. They're just neutral props. I'll put it another way. You are aware, to some degree as we demonstrated earlier, that any given situation can actually produce even opposite results, yes?
Yes.
Or opposite perceptions, yes?
Yes.
All right. You can look at any situation and you could see a positive outcome or you could see a negative outcome of the same situation, yes?
Yes.
Well, that shows you that no situation's meaning is absolutely built in. It's determined by how you see it. So if you decide that a situation will have a positive effect on you, that's the effect it will have. If you decide it will have a negative effect on you, that's the effect it will have. The situation doesn't come with a built-in parameter that says it's going to affect you positively or negatively. That's in your hands to determine. So nothing has built-in meaning, and therefore that's why we say, The circumstances don't actually matter. It's the state of being that matters, because it's the state of being that allows you to determine what meaning you will assign to those circumstances that are fundamentally neutral. Does that make sense?
But if someone's in harm's way,
yes.
how can you look at that in a positive way?
All right, thank you. There is a difference between observing that something is mechanically negative or mechanically positive. Positive being segregative. In that sense, the negative being segregative, the positive being integrative. You understand?
No.
You don't?
No.
All right. When we talk about positive and negative, we're not talking about subjective good and bad. We're talking about an actual mechanical description of energy. That which is negative, in that sense, is that which segregates, separates, shall we say, isolates, disconnects, forms experiences of disconnection. That which is positive forms experiences of integration, unification, bonding, oneness. Do you follow that?
Yes.
All right. The idea being that if you operate on a fear-based definitional system, more often than not, you will experience more emotions of disconnection and greater fear. Thus, you are seeing that the mechanism is simply generating an expanded version of itself by perpetuating more doubt, more disconnection, more fear. Does that make sense?
Very.
More misalignment within your belief systems from your core. The fear itself is the expression of negatively aligned belief systems. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, the idea being, when you see somebody operating in a negative way, or when you see a situation that you are saying someone is being harmed in, you can recognize the mechanisms that might be involved may be negatively based. Nevertheless, you can also recognize, as you can in many situations in life, that that being that person, while not necessarily excusing the negative behavior, might also allow others to learn something positive from it, or might give someone else a positive effect. I'll put a very simple example before you. We understand that it is negative when someone abuses another person. That's a negative act, perpetuated by negative beliefs. It is segregative, it is isolating, it is disruptive, it is disconnective. Nevertheless, if you came upon the situation where you're seeing someone being abused, and you come to their assistance and help them, then you are putting positive energy into it. And if you say, in seeing this, I am now inspired passionately to do what it takes to make sure this doesn't happen again on our planet, anywhere, then you are going to generate a positive effect out of what essentially started as a negative experience. Do you follow that?
Yes.
So it's how you use it. And that's why we simply say circumstances don't matter. Not to discount them, but to let you know it's what meaning you decide to give them that determines what effect you can extract from them and apply to your reality. Remember, everyone that is having an experience is fundamentally an eternal, infinite spirit. You follow me? Ultimately, everyone is just fine. Everyone, I'll put it colloquially, everyone goes to heaven, no matter what they've done, because that's the only place there is. The idea is that you are created in unconditional love, and that's the only place there is to go back to. Unconditional love. Now, individual beings may learn that they didn't necessarily want to operate in a certain way because it may have created an experience for them that is more negatively oriented than positively oriented. And they may learn to do something about that from that experience. That's up to them. But the point is that when we say circumstances don't matter, we're simply attempting to let you know that they are fundamentally neutral and that you can decide how they will actually affect your reality, what you will do with that experience. Just because the experience may start negatively doesn't mean that the only experience you can get from it is a negative one. You can actually use it to learn a lesson and actually create a very positive reality from that negative experience. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Also, when we say circumstances don't matter, but only states of being do, we are making a play on words of the term matter. Circumstances aren't what materialize your reality. It's your state of being that materializes reality, experience for you. The circumstances are simply neutral props that allow you to decide whether you are, by reflection, in alignment or not. Does that help?
Very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.